Welcome, everybody. Today, we are continuing with the chapters from The Purpose of Life. The topic for a discussion today is God is beholden. Sage Agastya says, we must understand that normally most people who go to the temples are unable to worship God without the aid of external materials. So, it is important to remember that what you have heard or seen in the temple is not important. You must appreciate the form of God that you have seen within your own heart. When an average man goes to temples in search of God, he needs purity, etiquette, and norms. Some desire to go to the temple sometimes. Others would rather remain at home and idolize the form of God in their hearts and find joy chanting God's name. Ramachandran, sir.
Sage Agastya is talking about people who are going to temples, who are worshipping God with the help of external materials. Means they require a particular God, so they will go to a particular temple and they will require this aradhana and or homa. All these external materials will be required, so that then only they will be able to worship the God. Now, Sage Agastya says, what you are seeing in the temple or hearing is not important. You might appreciate the form of the God that you have seen within your own heart. That means you must, how you are seeing the God, imagining the God in your own heart, in the form of your own God form or in the form of light. So that is what in the first para it is there. The second para, when an average man goes to temples in search of God, he needs purity, etiquette and norms. Etiquette. Etiquette means rules of polite and correct behavior. So when an average man, he should be completely pure, means he takes bath, he keeps externally pure, and then only he goes to the temple. And he goes inside, he keeps his say footwear and all outside. So he goes as pure as possible in front of God. And whatever the rules are there, he follows in that particular temple. For example, in certain temples in Kerala and all that, we cannot put this shirt and all that. So that all these norms which are there in the temple, one has to follow. That is the average man. So these are the some of people who go to the temple.
Yes.
And others will be idolizing them in the form of God in their hearts and find joy chanting the God's name. Means you can also imagine. That is, you can do even Manasik Puja. Means you imagine the God, how it will be. how it should be, your own God, and chant the name of the God in your heart and find joy in the name only. Please proceed.
Om Agastya Namaha. Brother Karpana Swami, would you want to add anything?
Thank you. Thanks, sister. If I may add, that Appa says that we must understand that normally most people, and Appa very carefully used the word most people, who goes to the temples are unable to worship God without the aid of external materials. And please correct me if I'm wrong. To my understanding, the external material here Appa mentioned is actually to the statue, because he says most of the people, referring to the people is not on the high level of spiritual evolution. So for that people, they need external material, which in the form of statue. They must see something for them to focus. But on the higher side, with the higher divinity or spiritually evolved soul, they will see the God inside. That's why Appa says, so it is important to remember that what you have heard or seen in the temple, it is not important, because the God is within you. And you must appreciate the form of God that you have seen within your own heart. And so people who can see God within their heart, that normally falls into the smaller category, not most of the people. One. Number two, we have a norms in the Hindu culture that when we go to the temple after the prayer, normally we sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes. It's actually after all the prayer, 5 to 10 minutes, our culture such that we need to sit 5 or 10 minutes for us to focus whatever the statue that we've seen, Amma or Agastya or Muruga Peruman, that the same picture should be able to see in the heart and focus for 5 to 10 minutes and quietly sit down and pray. And that 5-10 minutes is a very highly energized form of God seeing within us. That's my understanding for the first paragraph. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
It's very, very, very well said. Correct. Please proceed.
And in the second paragraph, Amma, when an average man goes to temple in search of God, he needs purity, etiquette, and norms. You see, Appa has carefully mentioned that a person goes to the temple in search of God, they must have certain qualification. They must have a certain qualification in terms of purity, etiquette, good conduct, and we call it in Tamil neri, Olukaneri. The good conduct and discipline is very, very vital, is prerequisite for search of God. And some desire to go to temple sometimes, others would rather remain at home. You see, on the higher level of spiritual, once realize the evolved soul, they normally sit in the house and see the God within them. And the chant mantras, sometimes 108 and 1008 or something like that. And that is on a higher category. Okay, ma. Thanks, ma. That's my understanding, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you. To continue, the one who is walking on the advanced path of spirituality remembers the form of God or light in meditation or chants a mantra. Such a devotee will soon gain inner knowledge and reach a stage where he knows that he is a part of God. He will understand his own divinity and know that he is no different from God. Yeah, brother.
Yes, ma'am. And allow me to continue, but and on the whoever advance on path of spirituality, normally they more focus on their light within them. And I mean, when we do meditation, sometimes we do see some lights when we call it Atma. And along with whatever mantras that given to us by the Guru, and we keep on this thing, and that will give us more knowledge, and also we have a lot of direct knowledge, which means to say that we will have a lot of information coming from the other dimension part. And that's what my understanding, because I do have a bit of experience on this. When we meditate, sometimes we don't realize that we set our time for 1 hour, sometimes it goes to 2 hours, and we don't know who set the timing actually, and we completely we merge with one, and at that particular time we do get some good message. And I've shared earlier in this Tamil satsangam that about 2 years ago, when I was doing a meditation, of course going through a tough time, and suddenly a message came, Vinay karindu vittadu, vidai molithu vittadu. That means all the karma is gone. Now the flower has start to bloom, or something like that. That means we have removed all your karma. So that kind of message comes when we focus inside, and we see the divinity inside. We see the light inside, in the God inside, in the form of the light. And that's, I think, there's a higher side of the spiritual involvement, not most of the people as described by Appa. Thank you, Ayya.
Thank you. To continue, comparing the spiritual path to climbing the mountains of Palani, a sacred mountain in southern India, the sage said, while climbing the Palani mountains, climb as much as you can, and then sit quietly in a place and reflect on your journey so far. Once you gain enough strength, you can continue to climb the stairs. Instead of that, if you start doubting whether you can climb to the top of the stairs and whether you will be able to view the God there, even before you climb the stairs, then chances are you will lose your footing and slip and fall. And you may have to remain seated where you began. So what you see is not important. Keep a childlike heart and welcome God into your heart without harboring any doubt or anxiety in your mind. Remember, an average man needs purity, etiquette, and norms to go to the temples. A spiritual aspirant needs only devotion, knowledge, and practice of meditation to seek God. Brother.
Please allow me to share my experience before we come into this paragraph. Allow me to share some experience. About a year ago, around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a dream. I was in a deep meditation, in very dark, in the open space in the universe, and I could see a lot of stars there. But deep inside, I'm thinking that, I've been in meditative state for many yugas, but I don't see Agastya Peruman. Are they really exist? So that kind of doubt came into my mind. But someone whispered to me in my ear. He said, "My son, close your eyes and call Appa. He will come to you now." Then I said, "Okay, I'll try." And I just closed my eyes and then meditated and called him, "Appa, please come." He immediately came, and I saw with my open eyes. And then I still have a doubt. Am I seeing Appa? And the front, that whoever, Appa standing right in front of me, is that real Appa? Is it a hallucination? So I asked Appa, "Can I pinch? Can I touch your skin?" "Yeah, sure." So I tried to pinch this thing, and it's a flash. I said, "Appa, it's a flash." "Yes, what you're seeing is true. But I came here to tell you one thing. Do not doubt. Ayyam Vendam. We all exist." And he repeated me a few times. Ayyam Vendam. Do not doubt. In any circumstances, do not doubt. We've been living here for yugas and many yugas. So are the gods. And they will come to you to rescue anytime at a request, provided, he used very carefully, provided you must be highly disciplined, you must have a good conduct, you must have a good ethic, and you should not do bad to the people. And the purity. This is what he keep on mentioning. Orukaneri, he says, do not doubt. Ayyam Vendam. Because when I pinch, it's a flash. And I was thinking, is it hallucination or this thing real Appa? And it is a real Appa. And he says, do not doubt my son. And he blessed me and disappeared. And just to share about the doubt, since the word Appa mentioned here is a doubt. Okay. Based on that, based on that experience, the very critical, the important prerequisite to achieve that level is actually the devotion, knowledge, practice of meditation. But before that, we must have a good conduct, the ethic and purity. And that is a prerequisite to move to the higher level of devotion, knowledge, and practice. There's a lot of people in this world have a knowledge. They knows all the Vedas, and they also have some meditation, and also they have some devotion. But because they fail in their basic quality of good ethic, and they got sometimes get very angry and they scold people, and the purity is not there, ethic is not there, norms of life along with what Abhyar has said, Paramati has said, is not there. They not progress. They will definitely not progress. But because that's what Appa said, you must have your basic foundation very strong, which is within you. You don't need to have pay money to get all these things. It's you that make sure that you have a good conduct. You don't get angry. Suddenly you get angry. Make sure that you calm down fast, and don't do bad things to others, and try to help as much as possible. And it's very difficult in this Kali Yuga to practice all these things. Yet you must try. And the Muruga Peruman says that whoever live a disciplined life in this birth until the last breath of their life, they will be given how shall I put it? அந்த சன்மானம் வந்து அளப்பரியது, more than bigger than the universe, that you will get, or how shall I put it? சன்மார்க்கம், இங்கிலீஷ்ல என்னங்க ஐயா சன்மார்க்கம்? And the price guidance? And no, not guidance. And it's actually appreciation of your good conduct. It says Muruga Paravan telling that the result that you will be get
blessings.
Blessing, not mother Tanmarkum, the Alapariyadu, bigger than the universe, Muruga Paraman is telling. And once you have this kind of purity life with a good ethic, with good conduct, good norms, and until the last breath of your life, you will be rewarded with the huge blessings. Is bigger than the universe, he says. And so that's very important. So the key aspect of this, the whole thing is actually temple worship. All these things is actually, we must make ourselves qualified to pray to the God. And once we have this basic purity and etiquette and norms, good conduct, the God will come to us. And of course, always the question is, Appa is with me, Muruga Peruman is with me, Amma is with me. But we never ask a question, how many people is actually in Appa's heart? How many people is actually in Muruga Peruman's heart? What is the basic requirement we need to go there? Once we have these basic steps, as what Appa told me, they will come straight away into us, and you will be there forever. And they will bless you with the tons of knowledge and the birthless life. Now that's a little experience I like to share. And anything to share? Yeah.
Ramachandran, brother.
You are told very well, and directly from Agastya. Since you got directly from Agastya, it is very good, and we should follow that weather. So we have to be steadfast. We should not have any doubt, and we should be totally pure. As you said, with good conduct, ethics, and purity are most important. So then comes devotion, and without any doubt that you will reach God. So all these things are there, then only Agastya will be able to help. Thank you. Please proceed.
Yes, it was. We've come to the end of that particular chapter, but it was very interesting and nice to hear that Appa has, manifested himself before given Karpana Swami brother the darshan.
Yes, yes.
He even pinched him and saw it as something very nice. He was truly a
Very,
blessed
very
soul.
good. Yes.
And yeah,
The
Sister
message
Veena,
he
you want
he
to
told
say?
me that the message he told me, Appa mentioned to me is, do not doubt. Ayyam vendam, magani. Ayyam vendam. 3 times repeated. Ayyam vendam.
Correct. And
we all exist.
Yes. This example was also very good. So nicely in a simple way he has explained that anybody can easily relate to it. When you're climbing the Palani mountain, you stop in the middle and then you look back, you have that doubt. So Ayyam Vendam is the right thing that they should. But we tend to do that. Oh, will I be able to do this? Beforehand itself, we tell our mind whether we can do it or not. So I think that's a very good example which ordinary people can relate. And the observation, the difference between a person who is spiritually inclined and a person who's not so much developed is also good. When he go to the temple, I think Valasidhar Raya also kept on saying, when you go to the temple, I remember the first question he asked when he had come for a satsang here was, when you go to the temple, what do you see? So we go to see the God, we go to see the idol. But he said, Kadavul, God is there within you. God is there within you. So I think that is same thing that is reflected in this chapter. Very beautiful chapter. Anybody else would like to this one before we move on? Sister Geeta.
Regarding sister, that regarding the Palani mountain, the steps, and my interpretation that comes to my mind is actually Appa's telling this is your life. In the life we got a lot of obstacles, a lot of stairs to go up, and stage by stage, and along the stage we sometimes get tired, and we say enough. We have been going to temple for so long and praying and nothing has happened. Okay, enough, I give up. I back to my normal life. So he says, don't do that. Never mind, you relax yourself for a while. Don't go temple, never mind. But always remember, pray in your God in your house, and keep the momentum. Although slow, but keep the momentum. But don't stop. No doubt, but don't stop. But doesn't matter. And sometimes at a point of sometimes we become very tired. And as Ramana Maharishi said that we are governed by the 3 characters, Tama Gunas and Rajas Gunas and Sattva Gunas. When the Sattva Gunas govern us, we are very devotional. And Tamo Gunas comes, we are not devotional. And during that time, don't give up. But you must keep on thinking about the God. Though, little bit every day, pray in your house, don't give up. And take give yourself a little bit time, but after some time come back again. That's what exactly Appa telling. When you going step by step in Palani Malay, you get tired, sit down for a while and reflect yourself. Then after some time, move on. This is actually the steps. Actually, the whole thing is can narrate to our life journey, Amma. And that's how I look at it when I read the paragraph. Not by paragraph by itself, but it's a life. We sometimes, because of so much of problem in the along the way with the family, with us, with the work, and with the sick, with all these things, we get tired. And we get tired and start doubting Almighty, the God. And he says, enough, we are praying and going to temple, nothing is happening. It's enough. I'm not going to pray anymore. Appa says, no, take yourself, relax for a while, but pray in your heart, this thing, but never have a doubt. But always remember that God is there to protect. And I'm clearing my karma. It's okay. And pamper yourself a little bit. Give you a little bit of break. But always, every day, maintain the practice of praying, meditation, despite of a hard time. But when the good time comes, then you move on. So that's why I look at it when I read the 2 paragraphs.
Very good. Yes,
Please
yes,
correct me if
yes.
I'm
That's a
wrong.
good No, that is a very good interpretation, and it is correct also. He's just giving an example so that people can relate. Like
Yeah.
steps are, as you said, it is only how in our life journey we should not get bogged down by difficulties. Like even an exam for that matter, any competitive exam or anything in your life, to say, oh, enala mudiyadu, I can't do it. This is too difficult for me. I will not be able to succeed. So that also is something which, God, if you must have faith in God. Yes, God is there. He will help me to clear it. So don't have self-doubts. I think that is the right way of looking at it, both spiritually as well as in real life. So yeah,
Because
that's very nice.
some of friends, I had a lot of, yeah, and a few of my friends used to tell me that, I'm having a difficult time and all these things. Say, never mind, it's okay. And but don't doubt God if possible. And God is there, and Kuladevam, everybody is there, and we just need to make sure that we develop ourselves to have the same frequency so that they will come and help us. But it's okay. Naman, give yourself. You have to go through all this difficult time, and but when the time comes, you got to be very devotional. And I remember there was a sharing by the white man to me when I was in Ramana Maharishi ashram in Tiruvannamalai. That was many years ago, about 20 years ago. And I was a bit crazy for Ramana Maharshi. I used to go there for meditation, and I spent a lot of time there those days. So one white man told me that he's from US, and he was with Maharishi, and he says, Maharishi, I'm here with you for almost 3 months now, but now I'm got to go back to US, and the moment I go back there, then lifestyle is different, and completely my bearing get lost, and I also will be lost in the fast movement of life over there, and I won't be able to keep touch in spiritual life. So the advice given by Maharishi to that white man is actually, he says, my son, as you know that we are governed by the 3 characters, 3 gunas, Sattva Gunam, Tamo Gunam, and Rajo Gunam. Right. And when you have a Sattva Gunam, and certain time we know that we are very devotional. And automatically it will used to come. And when you have that kind of a situation, you make sure that you really all out to do everything possible to connect with the God, do meditation and devotion and chant the mantras and do everything is possible. That character will become bigger, and the other circle of Tamo Gunam and Rajas Gunam will get smaller and smaller. And this will take many years, but you must keep doing that. When you are governed by the Tamo Raja Gunas and Tama Gunas, you have to go through, but the devotion that you have, the intense devotion you have when you with the Sattva Gunas, that will help you to overcome that. And that's what the advice given to him. This was shared to me those days, and I'm practicing it. Okay, so far, Appa is guiding us, all of us. This was sharing I got from the Ramana Maharshi ashram those days. I was crazy those days. Used to be there, spend a lot of time in his cave in the mountain there.
You were spiritually crazy.
Yeah, I actually most of the caves and jungles in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra, when I traveled those days. Actually, all the good thing must go to Appa. Appa guided me all through. Any sharing, Ma? Any other sharing? Yeah.
Yeah. Geeta Shetty sister.
No, Anna shared very nicely, explained very nicely. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sudhamani.
Nothing. Thank you. Very nice.
Okay. So, actually, in my life also, I feel when you are in difficulty or when you have situations change, it is for the good, and God knows that it is good for the good. Initially, you feel, oh, why is this happening? But then when you think of God and you understand that He's doing it for you, He's doing it now, maybe you don't understand, but it is for your good. So that faith in God really sees us in lot of progress in our life spiritually. So shall I stop recording?
Okay, 10 o'clock. Thank you so much ma, for lovely. This is actually a very interesting topic actually. And when we talking about Appa, I tell you, it's like, how shall I say that? It's like so excited. The amount of experience and gone through in the life, and now only realize after 60 over years, now realizes Appa actually protecting us and guiding us all the way. And when we share this with our children, that be patient and go through whatever you need to go through, God is there. They are not patient enough to understand this. So we also had the same problem when we were young. So that is a bit difficulty to make them understand.
Thank you very much, everybody. So we'll end the session now. We'll continue with our sharing of experiences. I'll just stop recording.